Hello, I'm Lynda and we're going to spend a little while thinking about harvest. I wonder what you think of when we say the word harvest. Well, I always think of vegetables and fruit and all nice things like that. And I've got some vegetables and fruit here. We've got some cauliflowers and some leeks and carrots and oranges and apples and peppers. I wonder if you like peppers. Peppers and broccoli, all those lovely things that we can have to eat. And I was thinking, I wonder if a vegetable had a name, I wonder what we'd call them. Let's have a little think. Here we are, look. I've got some googly eyes on this one. Can you see it? I think this parsnip would probably be Percy. Percy the parsnip. There we go. And what about an apple? Maybe Annie the apple? And what else have I got in here? Oh, a carrot. What about Camellia the carrot? Very grand. What do you think? Yes, I think so too. And what else have I got in here? Oh, a leek. What about Larry the leek? Anyway, maybe not. But it's fun, isn't it, to think about all the amazing, wonderful food that we can eat to fill up our tummies. Have you ever wondered where the food comes from? Where did it come from in the first place? Well, as a Christian, Lynda believes that God created everything. So God created the food and all of the animals. And that's the story that you will find in the first part of the Bible. Some of you might recognise this book. And right at the very beginning, it talks about how God made everything. The planets and the moon and the stars and the birds and the fishes in the sea and the plants and the people. So many different things. And you know, it's in this Bible, but it would also be in this Bible. In fact, any Bible that you pick up, you will find the story about how God created everything that we see and everything that we eat. And you know, after, it tells us in the Bible, after God created everything, he always said, this is good. So he created all the food and he said, this is good. Now I wonder, what food do you eat and say, this is good? The other day I was having a lovely breakfast. We got some friends round and we were having a really lovely time and we had a really lovely breakfast. And this breakfast had some eggs in it. In fact, it had poached eggs in it, a bit like these eggs. Look, these eggs. And I love poached eggs. I really enjoy them. And I sat there and I thought, I wonder, how did this egg get to my plate for me to eat for my breakfast and for me to say, this is good? Well, we're going to go on a backwards journey to find out how this egg ended up on my plate. So here we are. I've got my breakfast, I've got my egg, but how did the egg get onto my plate? Well, let's think about it. Going backwards, I had to go shopping and I went to a supermarket and I picked up a box of eggs and I bought the eggs, I put them in my shopping bag and then I went home. But how did those eggs get to the supermarket? Well, there's a very big lorry that is packed full of eggs in boxes, a bit like this and other colours too. And they fill up the lorry and they take them to the supermarket so they can put them on the shelves, so I can take it off the shelves, so I can have my breakfast with my egg on. But where did the lorry get the eggs from? Well, the lorry got the eggs from the farm that sorted out the eggs. In fact, they sort out the eggs in something called the packing centre. And there's all these machines there that all these eggs go running along these different channels and they shine lights in them to make sure they're okay, and they start packing all of the eggs into the different boxes depending on what size they are. You've probably seen that. You can get smaller eggs, medium eggs and large eggs. And these are large eggs. So how did the eggs get to the packing centre? Well, the eggs came in great big piles, all piled up. They're massive and they're really high. And that big pile of eggs goes into the packing centre. But who put the eggs into the great big crates? Well, somebody would have picked up the eggs and then they would have put them in the crates. But how did the egg get there for somebody to pick up the egg? Well, I think the chicken laid the eggs so somebody could pick up the eggs, so then the eggs could be put in the crates, and then the crates could go into the packing centre, and the packing centre could put them into the boxes, and then the boxes could go into the lorry, and the lorry could take the eggs to the supermarket, and then I could go into the supermarket, buy my eggs, and then make my breakfast and sit down and eat them. Do you know what? There's somebody much better that can explain all of this. I've got a friend and she is a farmer. In fact, she's the farmer that has all the chickens that lays these eggs in the blue boxes. Let's go and meet her. Okay, Farmer Bex, how many chickens do you have?
We have 3,700 chickens, but on the whole farm we have 11,000 chickens. A chicken lays one egg every 26 hours. So we don't quite have 11,000 eggs every day, but not far off.
Farmer Bex, how do you get brown eggs and how do you get white eggs?
So we have brown hens, like these ones here. These are Lohmann Browns, and these hens lay brown eggs. And then in another hen house we have white hens, and they lay white eggs, and this is down to the genetics of the chicken. White eggs and brown eggs taste exactly the same.
Farmer Bex, your chickens at this moment are beating my boots. What do you feed your chickens?
So the chickens eat a variety of foods which are all ground up into their chicken feed, which is mainly wheat that we see at the harvest time, and soya, and a variety of nutrients, which is minerals, which don't taste very nice, so the chickens like to leave those to the last bit of the day, but they do eat them. So in the chicken's house over here, they have a variety of perches and a scratching area, and their feed troughs and drinker lines, and at night time the chickens go back to the same area on their perch every night. They're quite territorial, so they have their bedroom areas.
Farmer Bex, there are so many different ways that you can eat your eggs. You could have them scrambled, you could have them dippy, you could have them poached, you could have omelettes, you could have quiche. What's your favourite way? How do you like your eggs?
So, as we have lots of eggs here, I do eat a lot of eggs. And my favourite way of eating eggs is a very dippy, runny egg.
Farmer Bex, as a farmer, why is harvest important to you?
So, as a farmer, harvest time is really, really important. It's very important because it's at the time of year when we, as farmers, accrue all the beautiful growth of the summer and mill all the food and store it up for winter, ready to feed all these amazing animals.
And Farmer Bex, what's it like to be a farmer?
So being a farmer is great fun. Every day is very different, and there's always something that challenges you, and that is what makes it so much fun.
Okay, I wonder, how do you like your eggs? Farmer Bex likes hers all dippy. I wonder how you like your eggs. Do you like them fried or poached, or do you like omelettes, or do you like quiches? I wonder, you know, Christians love to think about harvest because it's a time when we say thank you to God for all of the food that He's made and all the food that we can say, this is good. But it's also a time as well when we can think about people that might not have as much food. And you know, Farmer Bex, she actually delivers her eggs in the blue boxes to the food bank to help people out. And it's also a time when we can think about all of the people that work so hard, like Farmer Bex and her team, to give us food. So let's just take a moment. Who would you like to say thank you to for the food that you have on your plate, that you fill up your tummies with? What we're going to do is, just for a moment, we're going to shut our eyes in a moment, and we're going to count to 3, and while I'm counting to 3, I want you to think of something that you are thankful for, whether it's the person that gives you the food or whether it's the food that you really enjoy. Okay, and after 3, just really quietly where you're sitting, I just would like you to go, thank you. So let's settle down just for a moment. Let's shut our eyes and let's think about the food that we're thankful for, or the person that we're thankful for that gives us our food. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3,